set off in high hopes that bright May morning. We went to the people carrier, 7 of us headed down to the game, and we went to a place that had become a regular for us prior to games at Wembley, and that was St Patrick's Social Club on just off the North Circular Road near to IKEA, for those that know it. Great journey down, as I say, no problems at all. We'd had a few pints and gone into the ground. To be greeted, of course, by the sight of those now famous Armani suits, which we regret almost as much as the performance on the day. Indeed, the two are intrinsically linked. The game itself was pretty poor, really, and inevitably it seemed that with a 1-0 victory from a single goal scored by Cantona. I think that was a season they'd actually won 5 or 6 in the run into the title, where he'd done that. He'd scored the only goal in the game, where Schmeichel had performed miracles down the other end. But we'd not performed on the day, and I'm quite ashamed to say, to some extent, like the vast majority of Liverpool fans were there that day, we were just so sick, and there was no way we were staying to watch the United team pick up the trophy. So we headed straight out. And we got into the car and were away. And at that particular time, the police had it very well boxed off. Liverpool fans came down the M40 via Warwick to the ground, and United fans came down the M1. But what we realised after the game was that the M1 was going to be pretty empty for a while, because the United fans were all still in the ground celebrating a famous victory. So we headed up straight up the M1, and it's fair to say that we exceeded the speed limit for a fair bit of the journey, and we were back in our local by 8 o'clock. And really, I suppose it was a significant day in a lot of ways, because it was also the day that, for me anyway, the relationship with Everton fans changed forever, because we got back to the pub to find a fine old party going on. The Evertonians were partying, as we used to say in those days, like it was 1999. Whereas the year before, we'd actually celebrated with them when they'd beaten United. So worked that one out on the difference between the two clubs. So we eventually got to, at that time, what was our regular table in the middle of the room, and started to chew the fat over the day. And for anyone who's been to a match on a regular basis, certainly to those big matches, there seems to be an unwritten rule that we're all sad sods who will actually keep our ticket stubs. And we decided collectively during the course of the conversation that we were going to have a funeral pyre of the stubs. So everybody threw the stub in. Took some persuading for one or two particular anoraks who said that it was going to ruin the set-up by not keeping theirs, and we duly set light to them. I'd like to say that we all went home and we forgot about that match forever. Sadly, we didn't, but it made us feel better for an hour or so.
A kick in the grass. In the seasons after Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea in 2003, the club went on a spending spree the likes of which had never been seen outside of perhaps Real Madrid. And even then, that was a stretch. In the intervening years, Chelsea have seen glory with league titles, though ultimate European glory has eluded them. They are now on their 4th manager of the Abramovich era, and there seems to be serious trouble at Stamford Bridge, with them looking particularly toothless for the past 2 months. With us on the phone tonight to examine the state of play at Chelsea is Jay